Okay, it is May 22nd, 2024, 2024, and we're streaming live from the Pacific Northwest. We're in Washington, and I'm going to get our host, Your Honor, JohnnyNerdOut.
Howdy, everybody. That's right. Took the wig off. Thanks for joining us tonight. We got a good show, hopefully. Hopefully we got a decent show for you. We're going to be talking about e-bikes, e-bike news, everything that's going on, what's going on at the shop. We're going to be taking your comments. We're going to be talking with you guys. This show is all about you guys. It's a thank you to the community. So if you guys want to be a part of it, that's awesome. And you guys always have been and always are, so that's what makes this fun. So feel free to send your comments below. We're probably going to open up the line again later on. We got burned last week, but you know, whatever. We're going to keep trying. Hopefully people aren't going to ruin that feature that we're doing. We're trying to do something cool here. But yeah, Shane's going to do some news here for us, and then we're going to get right into it and talk about what's going on and other things. Shane, you got some news for us? You want to get right into it?
Yeah, I do. Hold on, I had to get we just got a few things to work out real quick.
Got to close some tabs.
Yeah.
Some sensitive information stuff.
Yeah. Do you like sushi, right?
Sushi? Yeah.
All right. What did sushi A say to sushi B?
I want to say sushi C.
No, it's wasabi.
Okay.
All right. All right then. That was a funny joke. Okay, news.
You're still thinking about that joke?
I'm still just thinking about it. Yeah. Well, no, I'm replying to.
It is crickets, and you don't hear it. There's no studio audience here.
It's
so
just it's quiet, really quiet in here.
You can't tell if anything hits or not.
All right, so here's the news. I just kind of scrolled and saw what was going on the internet. I just like this headline here. Will Biden's new 100% tariff on Chinese electric vehicles affect e-bikes? So, because Biden is just sitting there making these hard decisions, but I don't think he actually made any decisions here. But he did pass something just saying that they're increasing tariffs on electric vehicles. But I don't. There's nothing saying that it's going to have anything to do with electric bikes or light EVs. So I guess we'll just find out.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see. I was reading on the micromobility newsletter too that they were same thing, and everyone's like making these headlines, making these articles, but they don't know anything. So they're like, it's weird. Like they're making these things, but then they're like, but we don't know yet what's happening. And now we're propagating that. And we're doing the same thing, and we're saying, but it is interesting because what they should say is, I mean, we don't know what's going to happen, and will it affect e-bikes? My gut is probably saying yes, which is going to suck if it does, but I don't know. Did they say 100% tariff? Is that what it said?
Yeah, 100%.
So it's going to be double. So things would be double? Yikes.
I don't know. So somewhere in this article that I definitely read, they basically, an electric bike is like considered a different type of
or
just a different commodity. So an electric vehicle is considered
like an automobile.
Yeah, and then a bike is it's
a bicycle. Yeah, it'd be like a skateboard.
Consumer good or something like that. So
let's hope they keep that the same way. Let's hope they keep the categorization a little bit different. I think what's going to get weird is when you start looking at Surrons and things like that are 3,000 watt and higher. Because those are. I would not say that those are bikes.
Oh, here it is. It is reasonable to suggest that because bicycles are classified as consumer products and not motor vehicles, that they won't be included in the tariffs.
Yeah, because I think what's happening, I think what they're trying to do is they're trying to level the field for cars. I know BYD is like a big electric car manufacturer, and they're trying to undercut everybody. So, it's going to hurt places like Ford, Chevy, people who are making them domestically and they're selling them for $45,000. Like Chevy's got the new Equinox coming out and the Blazer EV. They're going to be like $40,000 and $50,000, I believe. But if BYD comes in with a similar thing and they're like, well, we're going to sell it for $25,000, then it's like, well, everyone's not. Yeah, I don't know. They're just trying to level the playing field, I think. But it'll be interesting. It wouldn't hurt. It's not going to hurt Ford and it's not going to hurt Chevy, things like that. So hopefully that's what their target is, and it's not going to have any effect on e-bikes.
Yeah.
But who knows?
So I guess the reason I wanted to just bring that up is just that I don't think that like. So I guess first of all, we don't have any political views, right? Like so this show, like
I mean, we do, but not on this. Hopefully, not on this show.
I have zero opinions on the government, and so
I don't even know what it is.
I've never heard of it. So these headlines, they're gotcha headlines sometimes. Biden's new thing. So I think it's important to say that it's not just Biden. It's the government. It's the man. So the overall overruling people of the country are the ones that are whatever. So I don't know. Again, zero opinion.
If you believe in the government.
If you even believe in it. All right. Next thing was China's sweeping new e-bike battery rules could have a major impact in U.S. This was another thing. It's just, these and this website. I like this website.
Giving a lot of love to electric.
Yeah. So I mean, usually this website's fine.
We should be getting paid from them right now.
They pop up a lot. But this isn't just their headline. It's like, that's.
Yeah.
It's a like this
again. It's a popular topic that's going around and everyone's trying to have an opinion on it. Anyways,
I don't think that it's going to have a major impact on U.S. So basically, I think from reading this article again, it's mostly like they're local, like they're cracking down on batteries being sold in China. It's not going to affect like what they're shipping out,
right.
Like what they're sending internationally.
Well, it might take care of like the lowest of the low quality stuff. Like I think maybe that's what they're trying to do. Where like some batteries, you open them up and you're like, oh my, how did this thing survive getting unboxed even without it exploding? I think what they're trying to do is maybe cut down on that type of stuff. I'm not quite sure, but yeah, I mean, there's great batteries coming out of China, but
yeah. I don't know. I guess I don't know what else to say about that. I mean, laws and stuff are going to happen, and right. I mean, So just be careful what you're sending in the mail, China.
Yeah, I hope China is listening to you.
Better get this message. Yeah. All right, Kona. The original owners of Kona own Kona again. Look at this headline. Look at this gotcha headline.
No, this is actually not a gotcha one. This one, I'm excited about because I think this is cool. I've always been a huge Kona fan. I've always liked Kona bikes. I think last week it was one of the bike finds, which I didn't find.
We didn't do a bike find.
We got a find. We might not have a bike find this week.
That's okay.
Last week we had a bike find, and it was the Kona Do. It was like 45% off or something like that. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago. But I've always been a big fan of Kona ever since I had my Kona Joe. I really liked that bike. It was just a cool bike. I had to sell it when I was strapped for cash many moons ago. But yeah, it's cool. Like Kona started as a cool small outfit, and then right in the middle of the pandemic, I think they kind of did a little cash out, and they sold it in 2022. And then they sold it to I think this place called Kent. And from what I read is that they kind of buggled it. They just really kind of messed it up, and they tried to go into just shady business people kind of dealing where it wasn't a small operation anymore. And I think it really pissed them off that they saw the two owners. This is what I'm thinking. If I spent 30 years building something and then I sold it and I cashed out and then I saw somebody just disintegrate it, kind of what they did to Schwinn, I would be pissed off. It would hurt. And so what they did is they did the right thing. They went and bought it back, and they didn't want their name to be, their legacy to be ruined, which is really cool because it's a cool brand to begin with, much as Schwinn was. But unfortunately, Schwinn didn't buy it back, which they should have. So that's really cool. This is a really cool story of doing the right thing over cash. So cool. And who knows? Maybe they actually made some money on it because they sold it this is what's going on in the industry right now. And I've been reading like just tons of information about this. The bike industry is hurting right now. It's hurting pretty bad because people overbought during the pandemic, and then demand kind of tapered off, especially for regular bikes, and even e-bikes too. So now everybody they tried to play catch up, so they overbought, and now they have a surplus of supply. And now people are hurting, and they're offering crazy discounts. That's why you could go on a lot of places like Kona was doing before they got bought out last week. They were doing 40% off. If you Specialized, you go on Specialized.com, you can find some great deals for things up to 40% off. That's where I got my roll last year. I got it at like 40% off, something like that. Direct, brand new from Specialized. A lot of these places, and I've heard a lot of people whispering that Trek is in trouble. So yeah, I forget what I was going with that, but that's the state of the industry right now. So I have a feeling like Kona may have been able to buy back they sold high, and then they may have been able to buy it back at a lower cost. So maybe they made some good money on it and are going to do good too.
Yeah. Maybe they just did a quick switcheroo, and now they're...
I was reading a story about it, actually, and they said it was at the Sea Otter Classic in California, and I guess they were saying... Now I'm gossiping, but this is what I read.
That's gossip.
Kona, the employees were, setting up their display booth and stuff, and, setting up, and then the owner, whoever's, running it at Kent, which is just, a businessman, I'm sure, told them to, take it down and head up after they had set up everything, and they'd spent all the money on everything, and they were like, get out of there. And
at the Otter?
At the event.
They made them take stuff down?
So they had to pack it all up, and then everyone was just like, what the fuck? What's going on? And then I think that's when that was the last straw, and the old owners came back in and bought it out. But I don't know how the timeline works, but it just seemed like it was totally mismanaged and just totally almost intentionally messed up. So anyways, good on Kona. I've always liked that brand. It's a good brand. And I just saw on their website now, they just got bought out last week. The Kona Dew is no longer on sale. I think I got it for $350 a couple weeks ago. It's now back up to almost $700. Yeah, $660. And now it's you want to find it here, and you got to go to your dealer. So maybe not so good for direct-to-consumer people.
We had somebody that just said they just bought a Kona Dew. Who was it? Oh, Double Sunday. Hey, Double Sunday. How much did you spend on your Dew?
Yeah, so they're going to be going back to dealers now, back to the dealer brand, which good and bad. You're not going to get those crazy discounts direct to consumer. So as a customer, you're probably not too happy about that. But
Double
cool.
Sunday said they spent $300, $350 maybe. So
dang, that's really good.
So maybe it was just on sale and
yeah,
got it right time.
That's awesome.
But even almost $700 isn't bad either, right? $659.
No, if you're, especially for a good bike, that's the thing is, it's how much should a bike cost? People are always asking that. And it's well, how much should a car cost? It's what are you getting? What do you need? What are you getting? And what do you want? A Chevy Cavalier is not the same as a Chevy Camaro. They're two totally different cars, and they shouldn't cost the same. I got a couple comments here that are making my mind spin, but we'll get to it in a little bit when I get to shop news.
I'm done with the real world news.
Is that all the news we got?
That was it. Yeah, just talking about legislations in China and America making big moves.
Yeah,
or no moves.
Yeah.
It's just they're just talking smack.
Yeah, America's making some talking moves, but we'll see. Tariffs. In one hand, it could help. It helps stimulate domestic growth and innovation on one hand, but I don't know. I have mixed feelings with that too. I could argue both sides on that. Hopefully that'll push more American battery manufacturers. That's what I would like to see. Right now there's one or two, but it's necessarily what I want to be selling for the most part. But I don't know. Anyways. So I wanted to touch back on batteries a little bit. This is going back into shop news here a little bit. So after last week's, and we were talking about potted batteries and stuff, I reached out to my supplier, and I'm going to be ordering some potted batteries, which are, I would say they're going to be as close to UL certified as possible without actually getting the UL certification. Potted batteries are just, they're not solid state batteries, which I want to talk about next, but they are they're just, they're the resin quality. They're going to be heavy batteries. So if you're looking for something like lightweight and stuff, that's not going to be it. You're going to want, this is going to be heavier. It's probably going to add, I don't know, 30% onto it, if not more. We'll have to get weights onto it, but it'll be nice and safe, but heavy, solid pieces. So keep an eye out for that. Hopefully by the end of the summer, I'll have potted batteries, which if you're familiar with like the Luna Wolf batteries, things like that, I'll have that. Hopefully at a lesser price with more mounting options and things like that. Next, I wanted to talk, we're always talking about battery advancements, and I feel like we're always talking about, I don't know, the legislation and the legal side of it, but I want to talk about battery advancements that we haven't really talked about much. And there are some battery advancements that are happening right now in China, and mainly for me it's the solid state battery. I kind of hinted at it earlier, but I think solid state battery is going to be the next quantum leap as far as battery capacity, and the next thing that just is going to set us apart. We're talking about doubling battery range, battery capacity, using the same space when you go to a solid state battery. And I'm really excited to see how that's going to transform eventually into the e-bike realm once they dial in the solid state battery, which there's a e-bike, or not an e-bike, there's an electric car manufacturer that already states that they have it, and they're putting them in their cars for like prototypes, and they're just about ready to go, which is going to give it like a 600-mile range, which is insane. So I'm waiting for the solid state battery to really catch on and to take hold and be available and be safe. So I think that's what I'm waiting for. All these other little tiny things like potted batteries, I think they're cool, they're nice, I think they're good sides, like stepping stones, but I'm really waiting for solid state batteries. All right, I feel like I've been talking for a while. Do we have any comments we should get to?
Sure. Yeah, everybody's got something on their mind.
Yeah. I see one guy, Zach. He wants to know if he doesn't
Sturmy
drive.
Archer.
Huh?
A Sturmy Archer?
Yeah. If he doesn't drive like an a-hole with a Sturmy Archer 5-speed internally geared hold, hold up to an X1 Pro. And the answer is yes. I mean, it really all depends on how you're riding it. But I always like to say, try to become one with your drivetrain, especially with an internally geared hub. But I rode on that 5-speed for about 2,000 miles on my BBS HD, and I rode it pretty hard. I was not the best. I was a do as you say, not as I do type rider. I was a typewriter. And I let it get out of adjustment a little bit. And then once you start letting it get out of adjustment and you start putting a lot of power on it, it just starts getting clank, 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 and it starts getting more and more and more. So once you start getting it out of adjustment, make sure you dial it in. Like pull over, just adjust it. Don't be like me. But yeah, it was a great internally geared hub, that 5-speed. It's nice and strong.
Sky Mage asked, where are the Amprius solid state batteries with high energy density?
What is it? Amperes?
Ampere? AMPRIUS? Is that a brand? Or maybe it's a mistype.
What's the guy's name?
Sky Mage. I don't know if it's a...
I'm trying to see. I'm trying to find it so I could... What are the Amprius?
Amprius. Maybe it is. Maybe it's amps. Maybe or amperes.
Oh, but he was. You asked me that right before I started talking about it. So.
Oh, okay.
Hopefully, I answered that question. I'm not totally sure.
All right.
What else do we got?
This guy's also asking if you know about the Revolt Hub 1.
No,
IGH.
I don't. Is that it's an IGH?
IGH.
What's up with that? Tell us
what's going on with that. Benji was saying, so you want to pot batteries that use cells so they can't vent gases? Like, they can still vent. I mean, do they need to vent? How much venting do battery cells need to do?
Well, I think that's done like as a last resort. I mean, generally, I believe most of the batteries should be vented before they leave the factory. So there is gassing, like off gassing, and they vent them. But I believe, I'm trying to go back to my knowledge here, so I don't want to paraphrase so people jump down my throat. But I believe that the factories generally try to make sure that they are pretty much vented like 99.999% before they leave. Because yeah, you're right. You wouldn't want to like lock things in. I don't know how they're gonna do that. Maybe they leave like a little tiny bit. I don't know. The battery manufacturers are better than I am. They figured it out. They know how to do it. But yeah, I don't know.
All right, this guy spoke up. Amrius is an American company that's working on a 500 kilowatt kg, 500 something.
Kilograms?
Kilograms? Oh, per kilogram. I got it. Okay.
Oh.
500 kilowatts per kilogram.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Cool. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I mean, they're starting to get closer to that watt hour per weight that gasoline is. You know, we're starting to get close. And I remember, I think it was like in 1900, Toyota was like, he'd offered like $1 million prize to anybody that could come up with the same type of energy density that gasoline is, which gasoline is just crazy energy dense for the amount of you know, space it takes up and weight and everything. It is just crazy efficient, but it's not reusable. That's the problem. I mean, batteries, they're a tenth maybe of them right now, like even at our best iteration, but it's rechargeable. It's reusable. You could use it 1,000, 2,000 times, where, you know, gasoline, you use it once and it's done.
So I was wondering, I have a couple bikes I pulled up since we don't have like the bike find, whatever. But somebody mentioned, just figured somebody would mention a bike that they're considering buying, and then we've got a lot of cargo bikes in the shop right now that we're working on. There's like at least 3 or 4.
Well, we got a couple Rad Powers that we're repairing.
So that's what I pulled up here. I pulled up a Rad Power. So this is going for $2,200.
Wow, really? They must have raised it. How much used to go for $1,500 all day.
$1,500?
Yeah, I haven't been in the loop with them, but I remember my first e-bike that I bought brand new was a Rad Wagon, and yeah, they were going for about $1,500.
It says it's got that UL certified. I feel like they're all putting the UL certified on there.
Well, that's good if they
that's
are.
Good. Yeah, but again, that's only in New York, right? So that's, I don't know. I think. So it's like
it's only important in New York.
Yeah, only important in New York. But no, that's the certified number. Whatever UL certification they have, it's only
certified for
New York's laws
standards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Confidence. Okay, I don't want to read that. So what do we want to see here?
So somebody's looking at this one?
No, I just wanted to pull this up because then I'm going to pull up the other bike that somebody was considering buying that can be converted. So what details do we want to?
So does it say it's a 750 watt motor, and how big is the battery on this one?
They don't. Oh, specs and details right here. 15 amp hour.
48 volt. So it's a 720 watt. Okay, so yeah, and a 750 watt hub motor. Going brand new, or if we're going used, you could. So Extra Cycle used to make their free radical edition. And you can still get them used for like a couple $100. Sometimes between $100 and like $300, you get these things used, and it converts any bike into a cargo bike, into a long tail cargo bike, which is awesome. And that's what put Extra Cycle on the map. That's how they got their start. It's a really cool contraption. So you could always just buy one of those things secondhand for like $200-300 and turn whatever bike you have into a long range thing, and then just put $400 battery and a $400 or $500 motor on it, and boom, you got a same battery but a better motor for like $1,000, maybe $1,200, including the Extra Cycle. Otherwise, I know a guy. He went to he just came by a couple weeks ago. REI, he's a member there. He got 10% off their a Turn bike, TERN. Their Turn was like $1,000 or $1,100. You should pull that up, Shane, if you can. The Turn at REI, it's like $900 out the door, especially if you buy it in Oregon.
Turn
TERN at REI.
TERN.
Yeah, I would go with a bike like that. So check out. It's the standard one. So you can see the electric versions of that are going for up to $6,000. He bought. It wasn't a folding bike. It was, keep going down. It's the analog.
Well, this
It's
This
like
is
$1,100.
Oh.
I think no, it's the folding.
Here's
one.
$1,200.
Yeah, keep going down. It's not the folding one. It's right there. Short haul D8 cargo bike. Look at that,
Oh, yeah.
$1,000. And I think if you're a member, this is not a little bit different. He was able to get it, but it's that bike.
No, that was
So $1,000, and then how much was the rad was $2,200.
Yeah.
So that gives you $1,200 to play with for a motor and battery. You could go with a DMO2 motor for $350, and then the same battery, 52 volt, 14 ampere for $400. You're looking at $850. So you'd be at like $1,850. But you have a mid-drive that would absolutely blow the pants off the rad power. So that's what I would do if I were building a bike. And there's a lot of other cargo bikes like this, but this is Turin is kind of a cool bike. It's an interesting cargo bike.
Let's pull up. So David was considering a big dummy.
Yeah.
So
that's what I wanted to talk about.
There's
too.
a big dummy. So this is just the bike. No motor or anything yet. This is almost
These are expensive.
$2,500.
These are Surly bikes. Surly
Yep.
is, top creme de la creme. They're awesome. And there's also the big fat dummy. Big fat dummy is kind of cool. Have you seen the big fat dummy? Just see if you can pull the big fat dummy. How much more is that? This one's good for a commuter. Just get the big dummy if you just want a commuter. Oh man! Otherwise, if you're looking at getting used, check out Kona Ute. That's used all day. You could get those for like $500 on Marketplace. It's just like the Surly dummy.
So is that an old bike? The big
It's discontinued as of
Okay.
like 2019 or something
There's
like
the
that.
big Easy.
Ooh, that's look at that. $5,500. They charge $3,000 to electrify it, which is where's the $3,000? Where $3,000 for what? There's no the mid-drive is not a $2,000 mid-drive, and that's not a $1,000 battery.
Oh, I see. This is the electric version.
Yeah. So they're charging $3,000 extra,
Yeah.
and this is where bike companies are going to get in trouble, and this is where I think a lot of people are going to say they're trying to cash in on this whole e-bike craze, but they're pricing themselves into oblivion because for $3,000 for a motor, like any average consumer with a brain that is decent with math skills or has access to a calculator will say, where's the $3,000? What am I getting for this $3,000 upgrade? Because it's not, I don't see it, and you're not showing me. That should be like a $1,000 upgrade. It should be $3,500.
This was the big fat dummy.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just a picture of it. I like the wheel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and this is my other part of the news. Now that you're showing these big fat dummies and stuff like that, so
Yeah.
I got some exciting news. I'm gonna be. I got signed up with QBP, which is the biggest bicycle parts supplier.
Who?
QBP, Quality Bicycle Parts.
Okay.
Which is they carry every brand. They carry Surly. They carry everything. Like this is. I've been wanting to be associated with Surly with QBP for a while. So I have access to a lot of brands now and parts and supplies, and it's really good. Now that I'm actually in an actual warehouse and I have an actual shop here, I was actually able to get signed up with them. So this is a big turning point for Johnny Nerd Out, I would say. This is just another milestone that I'm really happy to be crossing. I got that email today.
Congratulations.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. So I'm really, really excited. Good things coming.
Let's see what I'm gonna pull up the chat here. Just
What do we got going on?
All right, there we go. So Channel 19 says they contacted us a couple of days ago about a battery and lights and stuff. Said best customer service ever.
Hey,
Thank you. Thanks for calling Channel 19.
Yeah.
Or thanks for whatever you did. Thanks for showing up.
Yeah,
Can you sell
appreciate
recumbent trikes?
Recumbent trikes?
I don't know. That's a question that Brian has. Can you sell recumbent trikes? We could sell whatever we want.
Can I sell? Can I carry them now? Is that what he's asking? Or I
don't know. I just spat out a comment.
Can you sell recumbent? Like morally?
Morally and physically.
Like you can, but you shouldn't. No.
We've been working on. We just did a trike.
Yeah.
That was
I want to do more trikes, and I kind of want to get a trike. After I rode that one, I was like,
it's like a little go-kart. It's fun.
Yeah, exactly. They're just like they whip around. You're so low, and you could just corner like crazy, and it's a crazy experience, but it's really fun. Let me see.
What did I do? So I was riding that bike. We had like the battery was mounted on the side, and I'm like a few pounds, like what, 3, 5 pounds heavier than you?
At least.
Yeah. So when I got on it, like it was going fine, but then all of a sudden, like I'm hearing like the popping and sparking from the battery.
Shane sits on it, immediately breaks it.
It did. It broke. Well, I think
He's quality control. You're like, all right.
that is what I do. Like my goal is let's break it first before we.
He comes in like a drunken frat guy and tests everything and just like.
That's my that
if
is.
it can stand, if it can meet his quality control, the drunken frat guy test, then we know that the bike is ready to get sent out.
But so, anyways, did that, tore up the cable, like the battery cable, and so we took it off. Had to put a new battery on, and we remounted it a different way so that it wasn't
in a safer way.
It wasn't dragging on the ground. But.
Yeah. So actually, a little behind the scenes. If you see the video that we posted. The battery ended up not going out that way. It went out a different way. I filmed it, and then you tested it, and then we reconfigured it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Joey's put me on the bike. I should test out like
Powers.
strollers.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah, like things where like where safety actually is paramount.
Mm-hmm.
Just give you a few beers and then just let you test it. All right, let me roll up your sleeves. Let me test the stroller.
Let's see what we got here.
Put it through its paces.
Heck yeah.
Let's see. What else we got here?
What are you laughing about?
I'm just laughing at the both of us reading. Makes for good television. How many people are watching this on their TV versus on their phone? That's what I'm kind of curious. I should put that as a post.
Yeah.
I think most people are watching this on their phone, probably while they're at work, and they're like.
Yeah, they should be working.
Yeah, they're like taking a break. But yeah, electric trikes, awesome, especially the tadpole ones for sure. All right, TV. All right, cool. Right on. Right on.
Nice.
So, so they can see but they can only see the chat when you have it like this. So otherwise, they don't know what's going on unless they have their phone with them.
Can we talk about the difference? So recumbent. So there is like a recumbent trike. Right?
Yeah.
So that's what that is, right?
Yeah.
So then there's a trike that's not a recumbent. So a recumbent just is the way that you're
if you're recumbent, you're laying back.
Just laying back, yeah.
Or you could be upright.
And then there's two-wheel recumbents.
Yeah.
All right.
You never saw, did you ever see my Burley that I had?
The bike, the one we were working on was a recumbent trike, just to answer someone's question.
And it's a Delta style with the two wheels up front. So that's
generally
a recumbent trike is a Delta. Yeah. It'll have the tadpole style where the two wheels are up front. I've never seen, maybe I have. No, I guess I have. Sun makes a recumbent trike with one up front. It's the Easy Rider or something like that. So yeah, you could do that.
You can do that. You're going to say something else, but you forgot what it was.
I was starting to picture the Rans bikes.
I don't know what Rans is.
It's a brand. I don't think they're around anymore, but they're pretty cool. We were talking about people are watching on TV. Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, Michael's on. He's on PC. Yeah, I'm just curious if people can see the comments. I guess so. If you're on TV, you can't see the comments unless we talk about it.
Or I pull it up like right now.
Yeah, or unless you do it like this. So I don't know.
Which is cool because then you have like the future YouTube viewers that are watching. They could see they could kind of be part of the
YouTube viewers of tomorrow.
Yeah. They could see they could be part of it. Justin says he's watching on both his phone and his TV.
Hopefully you're logged in from two separate accounts so that we get a count. Yeah. We get two separate.
I mean, I'm assuming that's what he's talking about. He just put the word both. I don't know.
Both.
The
other thing I want to talk about is, when you were talking about recumbents, I was picturing the Day 6 bikes. A lot of people were had no idea Day 6 existed. And they're recumbent two-wheel bikes. And they're semi-recumbent. They're not totally recumbent, but they're really comfortable bikes. They're feet forward. They're pedal forward bikes.
This is Day 6. Yeah. I'm not seeing any of their. So this is a recumbent bike?
It's a semi-recumbent.
Oh, I see.
So your feet are forward, but you're not leaning back, and your handlebars are up, so it's super comfortable. And I'm always telling people these are. These are one. Brad turned me onto these over at Nomad. He was carrying these, and I was like, "These are pretty sick."
It kind of it's kind of shaped like a like a motorcycle, right? Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, and they're super comfortable bikes. I think they're not crazy expensive either. Like $600 or $700 they start at, I think. Unless you buy the electric bike one, then it's like,
So they have it categorized non-electric and electric.
Yeah, and that's kind of cool. How much? What do they go for now?
Let's see, the Dream 8.
$899. I think that's not terrible. $1,000. I mean, for a good quality bike, especially in a unique style like that.
Oh,
I
that's
mean,
cool.
So yeah, if you're looking for something, if you're like not quite to be like, hey, I want a full recumbent trike, you're not ready to pull the trigger to change your lifestyle to be on one of those. Yeah, these are cool bikes. These are cool in between.
Do we even look at their e-bikes?
Let's see what do they charge. We can just charge. I'm always curious. I can't help but see. But I'm like, I know this is gonna piss me off. I know I'm gonna be like, oh my god, how do you charge that much? But
so they have the 350 and 750. So there's the Dream 8, which that was the $900 one.
Yeah.
So this is the cheapest, or 350. Yeah, 2,800.
Yeah.
So what's that?
I don't want to.
It's almost $2,000 more.
Yeah.
You don't want to what?
I don't want to comment on anything because I like this bike. I think
so. The bike, get a bike and just put the motor on it yourself. Maybe that's not for everybody. Maybe everybody's not Mr. JohnnyNerdOut.
That's true.
They could just jump in their garage and put a motor battery on there and.
Yeah, let's go fast.
But you know what? You can spend probably about the same amount and get a better motor and have someone else do it for you.
That's true.
I could do it.
Somebody wants to know when the Stealth Gen 3 will be back in stock. I do have a decent amount of them in stock. I gotta just go through and check inventory and stuff. Let me know which one you need. Which one do you need? Shoot me an email. Just email me at JohnnyNerdOut.com. Let me know JohnnyNerdOut.com at gmail.com. Let me know which version of it you need, because I do have a few of them, but I do need to order some more. And I'm supposed to be having a phone call with CYC, so I don't know. If anybody's got any questions you want me to pass along to CYC, I'm going to be having a conversation with them, hopefully soon. Britt Weir says Mrs. Doubtfire. I agree.
Wait, Mrs. Doubt. What about Mrs. Doubtfire?
I have no idea. I think there's
a
conversation going on. Yeah. I don't know what you're talking about, Britt. I have no idea.
Anything new about the 2.7s? It's just everything.
So 2.7, they have a new firmware that just came out. I want to say a little less than 2 weeks ago, a little over a week ago. So new firmware. It's supposed to be taking care of some voltage glitches or something like that, or some jittering, they said. Mainly, I can't remember what else they said, but keep coming out with new software. I was happy with the last software that they came out, the firmware that they came out with. I think it was back in like April or March, and it seemed to just clear up everything. Anytime somebody was like, I'm having a problem, I was like, upgrade the firmware, or send it back to me, I'll upgrade the firmware, and then it just seemed to clear everything. They're like, oh, the display won't turn on, or whatever. Upgrading the firmware just seemed to just take care of it. So they just released a new firmware, which hopefully takes care of more stuff. So it's just part of a new company. You're gonna have to you kind of have to be the guinea pig a little bit, but it seems like the guinea pigness hasn't been so bad.
Guinea pigness.
Yeah.
Can I just pull up? Sorry, I don't know if you had more to say about that, but here's our Discord talking about Surly. Somebody posted this on there.
Nice, that's a sick one. Is that an ice cream?
Yeah.
Nice, it is.
Gen 4 equipped ice cream truck out for a 40-mile shakedown.
Oh yeah, that looks awesome. Yeah,
that looks fun.
That's a super premium quality build. That's a cool ride too.
Some photos. Yeah.
Where are you at? Where's he at with that kind of
Alkaline? I'm not sure if he's watching right now. I just happened to pull this up while I was.
No, dang. Okay.
We can look more in our.
That's a cool bike though. I like that. Surly makes good bikes. They just make good quality stuff. And fun bikes too.
So as far as the DMO2 being in stock, is that?
I have a few DMO2s left.
So what size? What size? The 110.
68 millimeter. I think I have like one left.
Oh, okay.
It's gonna go tomorrow probably.
Yeah.
Or probably tonight. Now that people know there's one left. I think I'm one of the only. Well, I think there's one other North American supplier. I think California e-bike's also selling them, but there's not many people selling them. But I'm trying to get another order put together because I've been out of the DMO ones for a while now. I got to get those restocked. I was kind of dragging my feet a little bit because I wanted them to work out some more issues first because I got a lot of them returned, and that's not good for my business to be getting stuff returned because then I can't resell them. I don't resell used stuff. So
the Wyandotte 72 Hace Bikes is the other leader in Delta style recumbent trikes.
All right, thank you for passing along that info. And then also Sky Maggie.
Mage.
Yeah, I've been reaching out with High Voltage. We've been in talks. I don't want to say anything, but we've been in talks. I just want
you guys are talking now?
We're talking. So
that's good.
We're gonna see what's up with that. Well, I want to see where it can go. I feel like High Voltage is very like-minded. I don't know. I feel like they're a bunch of nerds, and I don't know. They'd be cool to work with. So, hopefully we'll have some updates with that in the next couple of weeks, but we'll see.
CYC Proton update. I've never, other than like comments
with the protons.
I only hear about protons when somebody says
mispronounces it. When they mispronounce the photon.
Well, no. There was talks about a proton.
I know.
Oh no, I'm just.
But now
only people
like,
in the chat are the ones that are bringing up the proton, or YouTube comments. I don't ever see it.
I think they scrapped it for the time being, but I don't know. When I talk to them, I want to ask them about that. I'll ask them about the proton. I think
you're gonna write it down. You're gonna remember that.
I should. I gotta remember. I know.
What am I gonna
remember?
Write that down.
I'm gonna have the conversation. Like, dang it, I forgot about the proton. I can just email them. I'll just email them.
You're gonna forget. Physial loves his HV. Oh, okay, so they're talking about High Voltage. Wants a king's ransom for their high amp controllers.
It is expensive. I know.
Well, if you want luxury, right?
I know, you gotta pay.
You gotta pay.
But it is weird because it's like, all right, for the price of a BBS HD plus the High Voltage kit, you might want to just go with a X1 Pro. But it depends. If you already have the BBS HD and you're like, I just want to upgrade, I want to be able to run this stuff. It's like, all right, then it kind of makes sense. But Benji's saying, Benji's put a decent amount of miles on the BBS HD. So I forget, Benji, I thought Benji had the Luna one. Benji, do you have the High Voltage kit? Because I know you got that sick ass display and stuff.
He says that so once you test 72 volt HD with the High Voltage, you'll question CYC Pro. But
unless you're looking for torque sensing, I think that's the only thing though. Is like some people are just dying on that torque sensing sword, and they don't even realize why. But some people just are. And I think what a lot of people, I do a lot of consultations, and people are like, I know that you love those torque sensing motors and that you prefer them and you think that they're the best. And I was like, I don't know if I've actually ever said that. No, I've said that
we just talk about them a lot because they're new and they just keep coming out.
They're new, yeah, and they are more advanced. But that doesn't mean that they're better. They're just more advanced. There's more tech that goes into it. And
they're different, right?
It's different. It's like saying, I know you love pickup trucks over sports cars. It's like, well, sometimes yes, but not when I want a sports car.
Yeah, there's some dudes that just want a pickup truck.
Yeah,
to drive to Walmart in.
Exactly.
I like torque sensing motors. I mean, I don't know, but it's like my experience with the cadence sensing is not. But there's definitely a difference.
Well,
you get exercise.
You've been riding Aiden's bike?
Yeah, it's fun. Like, it's fast. I feel like there's more, like, initial torque, and you could, like, maintain high speeds longer. But with a torque sensing motor, like, you just get more, like, exercise. It just feels more like a bike rather than
And that's the thing. I know. It's you get more exercise, whether you want it or not.
No, but you could still crank up the level assist and...
I pretty much always just set mine to 5 to maximum.
Oh.
I just always
ride it so on the Photon you're still sweating even at maximum.
Even I put on maximum. What I do is I dial in like how much pressure I'm putting. If I want to go faster, I push harder and I change my gears obviously.
Well, that makes sense.
But I'm like always just at max because I want to be able to go fast when I need it. Like if I'm want to get it out of
So like on an HD or an O2, if you want to go faster,
hit the throttle.
Well, I mean, you could also pedal faster.
Yeah, but it's a slower ramp up.
Okay. Whatever.
It's just different. I mean, it's just, me and Shane went on a ride, what was it, last Friday? We did about 30 miles. We did a good blend of trail and pavement. Yeah. Both on our Photons. And I was kicking myself. First of all, I brought the wrong bike because I didn't realize that the trail was going to be like off-road with tons of... So I brought my roll, and the roll does not do well over jagged rock and, single track stuff. For the pavement, it was great, but I wish I would have brought my full suspension bike, my Marin, with the Bafang, because the Bafang would have handled. We're coming back doing like 25, we're trying to come back as fast as we can down the road, down the pavement, but it was.
I got to 36 at one point,
but we were struggling to keep 25 plus.
I was struggling
my ass off. Yeah, I could barely. And the motor was like. It would barely keep me at 25 miles per hour.
And, I went through one 14 amp hour battery, and then as soon as I put on the new one, it had a huge difference.
But I did the same thing.
But you were using a 48 volt battery. I don't know. So it shouldn't make that much of a difference.
No.
But also, you're not used to... You're
not
used to biking. You're not used to ride a bike.
I was putting in like tons of pressure, and I was sweating. Like my back was sweating, and I was still barely able to do 25. And I was like...
I barely broke
I know it was windy. It was windy, though.
I'm just hearing a lot of excuses, dude.
That is true. We have the same motor, so I'm like, mine's just like programmed differently. I don't know.
You're like a couple years older than me too.
That's true.
Have you've talked to the doctor about this?
About my low teeth, my low power.
Yeah, like I just
can't. Low P. I have low P.
I just can't. You can't handle that photon anymore.
Shane's beating me, and he's always half drunk, but he's still beating me. No, I'm just kidding. I'm joking a lot about
me being drunk?
Yeah.
I barely drink.
Who knows? Maybe there's a lot of...
I haven't had like barely anything to drink today.
Yeah, Benji is right. I know that's what I'm mostly excited about is the high voltage kit for the M635 because as you guys know, I need to be making these standalone videos on these things, but it's just been very frustrating talking about the M635 and finding more and more shortcomings of it. And just scratching my head on what was Bafang thinking. So I would, if HV can come up with a replacement controller that takes care of all those problems, they can charge whatever they want. I mean, it would just be, I don't know. Torque sensing, it would be a Photon X1 killer. Even if they priced it for like $600 for that controller, it would be probably not that bad of a deal.
Wait, did you see Justin's comment? The Kilowatt app makes ASI controllers open source, so basically you should be able to put ASI controller on anything. Do you know what an ASI controller is?
Yeah, I know the ASI controller. A lot of people were using that with the Bafangs, but the Kilowatt app. Yeah. Yeah, I mean the ASI controllers I think are for the most part. I'm not too versed with them, but I think there's I don't know. I mean, there's the GrindTech ebikes.ca. They have their controllers, which are pretty much universal for everything too. They could put out tons of power too, and huge voltage range. Yeah. Let me see. Who's been posting? High voltage has been. All right, we're gonna try taking a call. I guess if you guys want to try calling. Try to keep it prof if you can.
Professional?
As soon as high voltage gets their M635 controller up and running, that'd be pretty dope.
My remote dream. How you doing? Thanks for coming in. I thought you went live at 10 o'clock. Must be at 9. 3-hour difference and YouTube doesn't... Isn't there like a bell? Do you hit the bell?
Yeah, hit the bell if you guys want to be alerted.
Yeah, there is a bell. Yeah. That's a thing. Yeah, hit the little bell.
Dinger.
And then you'll get like a notification. But also, if you guys are enjoying the stream, hit the like button. And then maybe that'll also help YouTube to tell you next time we're live. All right, you ready?
Yeah,
you ready?
All right, let's do this. We got a caller.
Call from Scotty.
Scotty. I don't know.
I don't know,
Text,
Scotty.
press
You
1.
sound a
To
little
send a voicemail,
sus.
press 2.
We do have Scotty's number
We're
here.
going to be super suspicious of
Hey,
that
Scotty.
right now.
Hello. How are you guys doing this evening?
Doing good. How you doing?
Okay. Let me start out and say sorry. I have neurological disorder, so words little jumbled.
Me too, man.
All right, just don't be a racist and don't be a whatever, an idiot.
Just wanted to elaborate a little more on difference between torque sensing and cadence.
Let's go.
My name is Scotty. I am the Lion Den 72, coming straight from California, buddy. So here you go. There's differences even when riding different bikes, road bikes, mountain bikes, and recumbent bikes and trikes. I ride both road bikes and recumbent trikes. And I must say, when it comes down to it, technically, a torque sensing motor is going to be slightly more efficient.
Yeah.
And yes, you put a little more down power-wise at first, and it's based on your pedal stroke. But with cadence, it's all about spin. And that's where difference can come when you're in a recumbent position, since you cannot stand on your pedals. Everything is about spin and creating that perfect circle. And I would beg to argue that once you have a good spin and you can keep a steady pace, a smooth cadence, your cadence-based system like a BBS HD, which I got from you, by the way, awesome.
Thank you very much.
Will work almost as good. It's what I and my friends, my stroke survivor friends, refer to as battery management. Know how far you can go with your system, and then you start working everything else out, and it's all for fun.
Yeah, I think you got a good point. I mean, that's, I always tell people, I'm like, a torque sensing is the motor's adding to you. Cadence sensing, you're adding to the motor. So yeah, with a cadence sensor, let's say you got a trike and you got the motor's going to do its thing, but then if you have it set to like kind of top out at a certain RPM, anything after that RPM is all you. I mean, you could program these things totally different so that it makes sense to however your riding style is. But there was a while where I had mine set to like maximum power, but set to a certain RPM, which was my preferred RPM. Like I liked pedaling at like 90 RPM. And then anything over 90 was just all me. So the motor would get me up to 90 really quick. And then as soon as I hit 90, that was my wheelhouse because I like pedaling fast. I like having that thing. And that's where, I generate the most power. So yeah, then after that, it's all me. And then the motor just kicks in a little bit just to keep me at that RPM. But other than that, it's not doing anything. Where if I had a torque sensing motor, I could argue that I'm putting all this pressure on it and it's sensing that it's going to be sending power regardless. So I don't know. That would
Depends on how you ride, though.
Yeah,
I
totally.
say it in this fashion for this reason, and being spoiled with motors. I started out back when Bionics was the top of the line.
Yeah.
It was the best way to go. But remember, they were closed system with it being a canvas system.
Yeah.
I still have a Bionics I'm running in now, and I can max it out, and yet everyone else I ride with, I still have more battery at the end of a 50-mile ride because I am like you, Johnny. I have a very high cadence, and I get the motor maxed out, but my spin is so smooth that it literally ekes. Even though it's torque-based, it ekes in on that energy, and where most of everyone else relies so much because they do what's called the push-pull method because we all use cleats.
Yeah.
And I'm more a spin. So because it's smoother, the motor almost does ramp in and out, not punch in and out. And at the end of a 35 to 50-mile ride, I'll have 40-50% left on my battery. And same system on same setup. Most everyone else is at like 20%. They're dying going, crud, we need to go home. And I'm like, let's go for another 20 miles.
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool. And that's another good point, too, about having cleats or even just using the cages is, it does add quite a bit of efficiency. I never ride with the cages because I think they're annoying. But they do add quite a bit to your efficiency because, you're only adding power on your downstroke. And every time when your foot's coming up, it's not doing anything. In fact, it might actually just be adding some weight on the upstroke. But if you have a cage or you got cleated in, you could actually be doing power lifting your pedal up while this one's doing pressure going down. So you're just more efficient.
Definitely. And in fact, this is one of my arguments for when it comes to efficiency, since all of these motors are actually getting really close to being on par with each other in a user sense. Is in actuality, I believe, and I know I'm an outlier on this, I believe that one of the basic keys to why some people have less efficiency and less range, and they dislike even a solid motor, is more so because they don't understand, because the professional hasn't actually taught them. They don't understand that one of the biggest problems to battery management on any e-system is dead stroke. And for those who don't know, that means there's a space in between your pedaling where there's absolutely no power. There's nothing. It's that in-between spot when you're spinning your crank. And that causes that jolt, that micro jolt that it feels. And like any motor, a body in motion wants to stay in motion. A body at rest wants to stay at rest. And when it's at rest, that's when it sucks down the most power.
Interesting. Yeah, really getting into the nerdy details, but that's where we love. I love getting into that stuff, and that's very interesting. Good point, man. Thanks for bringing that up.
That's all I had, and I wanted to say thank you for such excellent service. I am so happy with my motor, and I love the show.
Yeah, well, thanks, man. I agree. People are saying good caller, and I agree. You got some really good points. So that was excellent call. Thanks again for calling.
Yeah, call in anytime.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah. All right, thanks, man, and thanks. Appreciate your business too. Cool. Yeah, I love that stuff. I love the way that you get into the weeds of efficiency and how power works and stuff like that. But that's where the innovation happens. That's where when you start thinking about stuff like that, you start seeing a problem, and sooner or later you get 1,000 people that start thinking about that problem. One of those people is going to come up with the solution and try to come up with a product or something. That's why we have all these. That's where all this the cool innovation comes from, is the people that think like that. So that's cool.
All right, I just wanted to address somebody that was talking about the meeting. What are you winking about?
Nothing.
What are you winking about? Who are you winking at? I wasn't paying attention for a lot of what you're saying because let's see, my remote dream. Shane and Benji messed up. Yeah, so
I was reading that too, and I was getting so confused. I'm like, wait, that's the guy. I won't say your name, but yeah, we were. He had a meeting.
Let me just say what happened because I didn't even do any explanation to you. So I just didn't get a reminder. It goes to my calendar app, and I usually get a reminder pop up, and I didn't get it, and I was at home mowing my lawn, and then I noticed I came in and noticed that John was calling me, and so I apologize. My remote dreams. I'm sorry. Well, it was a little blunder.
You had a consultation.
It was a consultation.
And I got a text message saying, hey, I got a call. I'm supposed to have a consultation with Shane. And it was like, oh, okay. This was after I was out for a couple hours, and I had come back to the shop, and I saw this, and I was like, oh, I think you got it. So, and then anyway, so
if you just want to talk for 10 minutes again, I'm available.
Well, we were worried about you because I couldn't get a hold of you, and I was
guys were really worried.
I hope he's I was like, hopefully he's okay, because usually you're quick at responding to texts and stuff. And I called you.
It was still within 10 minutes.
I think it may have been a little bit after that because it was probably 20 minutes, I'd say, and I didn't hear anything back from him. So I was like, I hope he's okay.
I was out there pushing that lawnmower.
Because we got a show to do tonight.
Yeah, I know. So I do apologize. But if you guys want to book a consultation, you set one up with me because I think John ended up talking to him.
Yeah.
So thanks John for covering. But if you haven't noticed, my rates on the consultation are just a little bit cheaper. So there's like a good chance like I might be doing something else when I'm supposed to. And then you can just get John on the phone to
you run the discount,
Yeah.
and then if you don't get the discount consult, you get the premium one, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, no, you didn't mess up my remote stream. No, Benny is not Shane. I'm Shane. Benji is.
We'll get this. We need name tags.
Okay. Was there anything else? I felt like there was something else we needed to talk about real quick.
Oh yeah.
Oh, the egg rider. Benji was asking about the egg rider.
Oh yeah, we already cleared that up.
Huh?
We got that.
You talked about it already?
Yeah.
When?
We. That's what we are. Don't worry. We got it all. We got it all.
Oh, that was with the wink?
Yeah. We got it
Oh,
all.
that's the
We got
wink.
it all. Yeah.
All right.
Britt knows what's going on. All right, cool guys. That was a fun show. I had fun. That hour went really quick.
I feel like I've had better.
Okay.
I've had better
That was
shows.
a quick hour. Yeah, if you guys like this, hit the like button, subscribe so you don't miss out on it last time. It's not at 10 p.m. Well, depending on where you're at. If you're on the Virgin Islands, maybe it is. But it's 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is West Coast time.
So that would be 7 o'clock Mountain Time, 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern.
Yep. All right, there you go. We just laid it all out for y'all. All right, cool guys. Appreciate. Thank you. And really quick, Benji wants to know the new display options. I don't know which mode are you talking about. I don't know.
Email us.
Yeah, email me. All right. Sorry, Benji. All right, man. Have a good one, guys. Good night.
Right. And don't be this guy.